Anyways, welcome to the YellBro Road. I'm Jordan, and today, I'll be real. I'm in a bit of a mood right now. Just sometimes little things just trigger me. I just want to insult everyone. So that might be what you might witness here. Speaking of like levels of stupid, we're going to be watching some Alex Jones here, amongst other things, and you'll get my real-time thoughts. I've not watched this, and I think what's his name's in it? Mark Levin. I'm saying his name right. I don't know him too well, but I guess I'll find out. Before I get started, don't forget to share, support, hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Check them out, read them, share them, then donate. Thank you. So as I was saying, there's a lot of dumb fucks in the world. And some dumb fucks get really large major platforms, like Alex Jones, to spread more dumb fuckery everywhere. And you know what? Once again, I have not seen this video. Maybe Alex got smartened up here. Maybe he got smart all of a sudden. I just doubt that. Even if he gets maybe a story right, I think he's going to add what's the word? Like a parasitical amount of idiocy built within the confines of the maybe correct narrative about whatever incident happening in the world, right? But you know what? Instead of me judging from the outside, let's hear the man in his own words, and hopefully I'm not too offended. By the way, shit-talking session is on. This might not be as analytical as people want to hear. It might be full-blown shit-talking. That's the mood I'm in. Here we go.
I speak for tens of millions of red-blooded Americans.
Give some volume.
I speak for Christians and Jews and others alike.
You do?
This is the view of the American people. That's number one. Americans hate Hamas.
Wait, that's him said? Damn it. I fucked that up. I literally go to Okay. As this guy talks for a lot of people. That's billions of people. Billions. And maybe he's even talking particularly about Americans, which, once again, that's got to be in the hundreds of millions, right? Of I think it's a Jewish and Christian. Like, is he implying that Muslims love Hamas or something? I think there's a lot of Muslims that don't like Hamas too. Just like any type of political organization, you have lovers and you have haters. A lot of team playing, you know? Anyways, let's let him finish. Sorry.
Of the American people. That's number one. Americans hate Hamas. We hate terrorists.
A lot of people in America did not know who Hamas was until 2 years ago. Sorry, less than 2 years ago.
Butchers, Nazis.
Yeah, I sure wish Israel wouldn't have founded Hamas.
That kill babies, that decapitate babies, that rape women and burn people alive.
You know, anybody can type in to a certain...
Israel has done that. The Israeli government has done that. I want to point that out. Anyways, here we go. Maybe they didn't. I don't think they directly beheaded a baby or anything like that, but they've definitely killed babies. That is 100%. There's a shit ton of people, shit ton of babies who did not reach 1 year old that have died in the last, less than 2 years in Gaza. And there's more dying now because they're still getting bombed, still getting shot at, and still starving. There's still no aid going in there yet. Yeah, yeah. Anyways, here we go.
To read Israeli newspapers, Israel provided al-Qaeda access to its field hospitals in Syria. Gave them weapons. So you're
I've heard of
al-Qaeda?
that.
You're going to tell us about Saudi Arabia and 9/11? Those were the cutouts. What about the dancing Israelis, Mark?
Oh, shit.
Larry Silverstein and pulling Building 7. What about all that? Oh.
So, damn. So, this for me, I think I said it in the video yesterday. It is kind of proof, or quasi-proof, that Alex Jones is not being blackmailed or working for Israel, as a lot of people have kind of asserted. I stay away from narratives like that. Even in regards to Trump, I stay away from narratives like that. I look at these guys as gangsters. Maybe not Alex Jones. I don't think he's a gangster. I think he's a bitch boy of gangsters. And that's where he's at. So, once again, someone or something to do with the Trump administration or someone within it, or Elon Musk or someone owns this guy, Alex Jones, in my opinion. So when everyone's begging him to say more about Israel, right? Everyone's begging him to do that. he waited for what? Until some certain headlines or narratives in regards to Trump and Netanyahu not working together. Now he's saying these building 7, dancing Israelis, and all of a sudden. But you know, it is what it is. Here we go.
Larry Silverstein and pulling Building 7. What about all that? Oh, the talking points he's given is
I'm here to defend Trump.
Saudi Arabia.
I just want to add also that when Jones brings up ISIS being treated in Syria, right, to go back out there and start fighting Assad again, like, oh, Trump was funding those guys too. Just so everyone knows. They don't want to say it, but Trump was funding those guys as well. And bombing some of them too. But also playing like a role as in like, you know, these moderate rebel groups, Air Force too, in Syria. Just throw that out there. There's no good, in my humble opinion, there are no good guys in this scenario, including Alex. And if you think so, I think you're kind of dumb. This is me in shit-talking mode, so forgive me. Let's continue. I'm inspired by that music. Come on, here we go.
You've got the mouthpiece of people like Netanyahu, Mark Levin, who is hopping mad about all of this. And I would just say to Mark Levin, while he rattles off, you know, cutting babies' heads off and all this stuff, and I'm not defending Hamas, but most of the stuff they're saying that didn't happen, Al-Qaeda does rape children and cut babies' heads off, and your little buddy Netanyahu was heavily involved with NATO and Erdogan doing that.
So as we just recently seen, right, Trump shaking hands with the Jolani guy or al-sharaa, whatever the fuck his name is, you know, Al-Qaeda guy, wanted by the United States, put on a terrorist list by the United States, right, the $10 million bounty or whatever fuck on his head, was locked up in U.S., you know, overseas prisons with guys like Baghdadi, worked alongside those guys until I guess they didn't for a bit. Maybe they split off because of Syria, and maybe Jolani got a promise like, yo, man, listen, break away from this Baghdadi guy and we'll give you Syria. Because we don't want Assad in there. We want him out of there. And now all of a sudden, Trump's shaking hands with him, telling us how big and strong he is. Like, man, what a big, strong, tough guy he is. Wow. I really like to rub his shoulders. Yes. You know what I'm saying? So, it's interesting, Alex bringing up Al-Qaeda. Will he bring up Trump making a deal with Al-Qaeda as a new government of Syria? Here we go.
And so I don't want to hear the moralizing
surrounded.
anymore.
Kid you not.
So, but let's just basically hear from Netanyahu. Because when you hear from Mark Levin, it's basically Netanyahu. Here it is.
The Middle East is filled with terrorists and terrorist regimes.
Tourists. He has like the
Americans
George
do
Bush
not like
tourist.
Iran and the regime that runs it. They're terrorists. They keep threatening to
Terrorists.
destroy us and our friends, the Israelis. They're trying to get nuclear weapons and put them on intercontinental ballistic missiles. We reject it. I speak for tens of millions of red-blooded Americans. I speak for Christians and Jews and others alike. This is the view of
I think he meant Muslims too, right? And atheists and Buddhists and Houthis and not Houthis, Hindus.
the American
This guy speaks for all
people.
those.
That's number one. Americans hate Hamas. We hate terrorists, butchers, Nazis
Yeah, I sure wish Israel
hate
wouldn't have founded
men.
Hamas.
that kill babies, that decapitate babies, that rape women and burn people alive and attack young teenagers at festivals. We hate them. We despise them. We got real questions about Saudi Arabia.
Trump on a prayer circle in Yemen, and then boasted about it on social media.
And Saudi Arabia's role in 9/11. And the more that comes out, as the FBI just released some information about 6 to 8 months ago, the worse it looks that Saudi Arabia did in fact have a hand in helping al-Qaeda attack us and kill over 2,000 of our fellow citizens.
I've heard something similar to that, but back then, not maybe 2001, but years after, I heard things about that. And about Syria, Saudi Arabia exporting, Salafist-style, extreme Islamic-style terrorism shit. But let's be real. Like, consistently, I wish this was wasn't, but consistently, the U.S. picks some of the worst to work with. And I'm not even saying worse as in, someone like Assad is so much better or some other ruler is so much better. It's more so, on the surface, that the U.S. government themselves claim are the worst of the worst. They pick those guys to work with the most. Everyone else gets fucking uplifted and kicked out. I mean, you can't make it up. The level of dumb. Now, this guy, I'm not calling this Mark, as far as what I've heard so far, I'm not calling him just some dumb guy who's he doesn't know what he's talking about. I think he's doing this on purpose. Because he's a neocon State Department goon. But I'm also saying Donald Trump is that as well. And I'm also saying Alex Jones works for Donald, something with the Trump administration he works with or for. Because he is some of the excuse making I've seen. Like I said, he just brought up Al-Qaeda, but then we all know he's going to call Trump a peacemaker for shaking hands with Jolani in fucking Syria and lifting sanctions off of him. That he didn't allow to a government that, at the least, as far as we understand, was actually fighting ISIS. Granted, he probably killed a lot of his own citizens while trying to do so. I'm not saying the gas attack, saying bombs and bullets and all that shit. Anyways, let's continue.
That's what we Americans reject and believe.
I mean, levels of
We know
stupid.
who the good guys are. 80% of us support the state of Israel.
Doesn't make you good.
Holy land for Jews and Christians.
And Muslims.
And most of us despise the terrorist
and aliens
terrorist regimes, all of which are one form of dictatorship or another. So that's the foundation. Let's begin there. If only Israel would accept the Palestinian state as a condition of Saudi Arabia joining the Abraham Accords. If that's a condition, then who cares if they join the Abraham Accords? Accept a ceasefire with Qatar-funded Hamas, so Hamas, you see, can rebuild and strike Israel again. That's not going to happen.
Who the
Whether
fuck
Qatar
is this
likes
guy?
it or not.
Someone put a gun in his hand, put a helmet on him. Get the fuck out there and do it then, bud. Let's see you. Let's see you move 10 feet without gasping for air. Oh, fuck, I'm out of gas. That ain't gonna happen on my watch. Who the fuck are you, bud? Sorry, I need to remind you guys, shit-talking session. Once again, I'm a little triggered, bro. So I'm just gonna roll everyone that's in my way at this point. Here we go.
Accept the deal with Iran that does not fully dismantle their nuclear program. That better damn well not happen either.
So, Mr. Mark Levine,
I thought it was Levin.
anybody can type in to
Whatever.
a search engine and read his Israeli newspapers. Israel provided al-Qaeda access to its field hospitals in Syria. Gave them weapons. So you're going to tell me about al-Qaeda?
Trump did too.
You're going to tell us about Saudi Arabia and 9/11? Those were the cutouts. What about the dancing Israelis, Mark? What about Larry Silverstein and pulling Building 7? What about...
Trump's never going to investigate that. His team, his crew, his administration, they're never investigating that, Alex. So, once again, this is why I get the role both you and Mark Levin or Levine, whatever his fucking name is. Because you're both on the wrong side of history. Quite blatantly. Here we go.
About all that? Oh, the talking points he's given is blame Saudi Arabia, who, was working with British intelligence, U.S. intelligence, with al-Qaeda and supplying the fighters. That regime was removed by Trump 7 years ago.
Oh, they were removed by Trump. Was that while they were committing the genocide in Yemen? At the time, I think was considered the poorest country on the planet. When they're doing these refueling plane bombing campaigns. and Trump had a chance to take our weapons out of it, and he said, "Nah, kill him, keep going. Let him keep going. Finish the job, baby. Keep bombing and bombing and bombing. And then bomb some more." And then where is this proof or evidence of he removed the bad guys from Syria? Where is that from? I agree with Dubster brought that up earlier. I have not fucking heard of that. Like where? Where? Once again, I'm not the foreign policy expert, so I'm like, yo, someone in the comments or something, or I'll look it up at some point. Like someone show me where that happened. Where now the mean, ugly, dumb version of Saudi Arabia is gone, and the new moral, benevolent, Saudi Arabians are here. See, look, they're showing tits everywhere in Saudi Arabia now. It's all good now. Where's the? Someone show me. Where? Anyways, here we go. Oh, speak of the devil, there he is. All right, here we go.
IDF chief finally acknowledges that Israel's to Syrian rebels. And who are they?
Trump did too. Trump supplied them with weapons too in Syria. And then here's further proof of that is that now one of those quote unquote Syrian rebels is now the president of Syria, and now he's boasting about this guy and lifting sanctions away from him. Ha ha. Well, Alex Jones report on that.
Dealt, man.
Oh yeah, sure. You mean the cards he dealt himself?
His name is Trump.
Didn't Tulsi Gabbard put forward legislation to say we can no longer fund terrorist groups? She actually wrote the no, it didn't. Let's be real, it didn't pass, right? But Trump was president. He could have pushed for it, couldn't he? Or am I tripping?
Starting next week.
Oh, wait till you change the terrorist guy into official state representation of whatever nation, right? Just designate them as something different. Now we can make that rule, right? Beautiful.
Al-Qaeda. It's been known that Israeli hospitals have treated wounded Syrian fighters. The Wall Street Journal reporters uncovered direct support in cash, without which fighters say they wouldn't have survived. IDF medics seen treating Syrian rebels, a new video. And who are the rebels? Al-Qaeda. Who runs the country? Al-Qaeda. Yeah, Mark, please don't tell me about Al-Qaeda.
So Alex now knows, he's saying who runs Syria right now is Al-Qaeda, right? And I just went over that video where Trump, he's such a big, strong man, big, strong, tough guy. Yeah. I'm just saying. What's Alex has to know about that now, right? Like, this is for sure. This video is after the Trump and Saudi Arabia shit, right? Let's see.
I know a little bit too much.
They keep trying me, but it ain't working.
And I know you hope the American people.
Here's where he cusses.
Well, guess what? They have. So you're really pissed that we're reforming Saudi Arabia. You're really
holy shit, dude.
We're shutting down Al-Qaeda. You're really pissed that Trump wants peace.
Trump wants peace.
And
Trump wants peace by peace with the guys you just called Al-Qaeda, right? That you're mad about. Like, look at these Al-Qaeda guys. You can't make this up. Once again, the world drops IQ points when Alex Jones opens his fucking mouth. I kid you not. The world gets a little heavier, a little more dense, if you will. Here we go.
Israel's already announced. Netanyahu's announced. We're not going to let any
dummies
Palestinians stay in Gaza or the West Bank or anywhere. They're just going to push them all out. And the Israeli proposal came out 6 months ago to ship them to Europe and here. No thank you, buddy. You just...
And if Trump said, you know what, I changed my mind, we're just going to just eliminate them, get rid of all of them, eliminate them. Just for sin, Trump has finally pointed out the globalist state of Gaza and realized that, they're all globalists. We got to get rid of them. They're all devil-worshipping globalists. That's going to be... You see this face right here? This is Alex when he meets God. He's like, "Oh fuck! Oh, I didn't know. He offered me a lot of money, and it wasn't my fault, you know. And I had a lot of financial trouble. You know, I had to sell some pills and men's vitality pills, and I had to. Can't stand these idiots. Here we go.
Keep them right there.
Once again, I
with you.
warned everyone. Shit talking session. It is what it is.
Well, they're killers. Oh, so we're supposed to take them. Oh, and why are they radicalized? Why did Israel create Hamas? Because they wanted destabilizing
And the U.S.
drooling Islamicists, so they have an excuse to be militarized. So Israel has an excuse to continue to have fights all the time. And Trump knows that. So you're not the old
Trump knows
days,
that. He knows it.
Netanyahu and
He knows what I know.
And Liz Cheney and all the rest of you. Most people know your game. Liz Cheney.
Israel expects 50% of Gaza to be able to flee during full. Yeah. Yeah. And once again, Trump's campaign brought like, just finish the job. Finish the job. And I think he gave him more bombs and shit. Like, you guys are taking too fucking long. Finish the fucking job.
And all the rest of you. Most people know your game, and soon everybody will know it. And then it's
yeah, we're gonna find out about you, Alex. Can't fucking wait on that one. I guess there's more. Okay. I'm inspired by this music.
I am cutting the special.
He's selling me fucking pills. Nope. Next. Next video.
You
All right.
want your trilogy gummies?
Well, let's go to the other side of the spectrum here. Of obviously, once again, if you don't realize Alex Jones is a fucking idiot, if you don't realize he's full of shit, as he just tore down like Israel supports Al Qaeda in Syria, and now Al Qaeda's running Syria. Okay, well now Trump has made peace deal with that guy, with some conditions of not attacking Israel is one of them. And he's like, yeah, just be my bully out here, be my bully, be a big strong man. And then he lifts the sanctions, right? In the name of peace, of the person he helped fund in the first place. Where there's nowhere, based on what we just heard right there, there's nowhere for Alex to go. There's no excuses to be made. There's no way around it. He has to be like, fuck you, Trump, for that. Or Trump is wrong about this. He's getting bad advice. Even though that's terrible and also stupid. And he has to make those statements, right? Anyways, let's go to the other side of the spectrum here. Cenk Uygur. But Netanyahu was so sure he had Trump in his back pocket. He had the smug smile of being in total control. Now, the neocons are in a panic that Trump might have jilted them. No matter what else he does, if he frees us from Israel, it's impossible not to give Trump credit for that. Is that what's happening here? Anyone? Is that what's happening here?
Duh.
That's both sides of the spectrum. Granted, I called both these fools full of shit. Cenk Uygur and Alex Jones. I called them both full of shit. But on paper, they're supposed to be different sides of the spectrum, right? And yet, maybe trust the pan a little bit. Maybe. Hey, listen, I'm not calling Trump some sort of savior or anything, but like, give him a chance. If he does something good, call it good. Without investigating it, without looking into the nuance, without any of that shit. Just call it good. Don't investigate. Fuck that. Don't query or ponder whether something more sinister could be happening, something worse off for us happening. Let's not question that.
Bro, you're such a hater. We just needed to sacrifice 150,000 Palestinians so we can finally get peace in the Middle East.
True.
What's your problem?
And also make a condition for negotiations with other Middle Eastern countries. Make sure they don't help Palestinians either. Make sure they give up on what's happening in Palestine. Make that a condition.
It was a big plan. It took 12 years to implement.
It's about peace, man. Duh.
He knew we would have to sacrifice a lot of people for the greater good.
Oh, okay. Hey, fair enough. Fair enough. Hey, they're not Americans.
Republican believes in.
What,
Republican doesn't believe in that good idea.
like this dumb fuck? It doesn't like for him. It doesn't matter until the bomb lands at his front door or something. Otherwise, he doesn't give a shit. This little cunt right here, this little Douglas Murray grifter, feeding off the pain and suffering of other people and making a living off of it. Yeah.
I mean, they named the show The Young Turks. Come on now.
You know what? Let's continue here. Let's go on to Gaza and the whole what Trump's going to do right over there. Breaking. President Trump on Gaza. In Gaza, my administration shares the hope of so many in this region of a future of safety and dignity for the Palestinian people, but that cannot happen as long as Gaza's leaders take delight in raping, murdering, and torturing innocent people. Can't have it. Interesting.
They can rape, right? But just can't take delight in it.
Can we get a full-blown investigation of the Edon Alexander kid that came out? Like what'd you say? Was there raping? Tell us what happened.
Who got raped?
This almost sounds like Israel's narrative and statements in regards to Hamas, and that's why we need to go in there and take them out. It's like, yeah, and also the hostage thing. It's not just hostages. Like Israel's goals are, wipe them out and the hostages. Like they're not the same thing. They're not like, okay, if we get the hostages, we'll stop trying to take out Hamas. Like no. Their goal is take out Hamas and get the hostages on paper. In my opinion, I don't think they care about the hostages. I don't think they care about Israelis. I think that they're trying to plant seeds for the future of neo-cunts that run Israel. For those future cunts, they're doing this for them, so they have some hegemony over the territory. And obviously the U.S. is like, we want hegemony over all of it, Israel included. So we'll plant our flags in all these places. We'll set up certain people. We'll fund them to get in there in the first place, just like the Giuliani guy. We'll get them all in there, and we'll control the entire fucking area. This fucking resource-rich area. We'll have business deals out the ass. We'll have beachfront property all over the fucking place. We'll have pipelines through Syria. It's beautiful. Beautiful business. Let's carve the fucking place up. Yes, we're going to, like Dubster said, we're going to have to kill a shit ton of fucking Arabs. It sucks, right? But damn, that's business, right? And look.
He's fixing our economy. It's going to take some fucking Arabs.
Yeah, man. Jeremy, just look in the mirror. We know you don't care. We know you don't care, man. So, we'll just do that. You'll praise us for it anyway. You don't care to look into it. And in fact, you might not even care how many children are blown up, burned, stabbed, shot,
their future
starved. I don't care. Who cares? It's not at Jeremy. The only thing at Jeremy's front door is an Amazon box waiting for him. It's the Amazon man here to deliver his fucking graphics card for his new computer. His world's fine. That's why he doesn't have to fucking care about anyone. He can focus on this shit. And whatever Trump does, he can just praise it because it's meaningless. It means nothing. It's all meaningless. Anyways, I greatly appreciate the constructive role that the leaders in this room have played in trying to bring the terrible conflict to an end, including by helping secure the release of American hostage Edon Alexander. I guess we'll just hear the audio of this. Here we go.
My administration shares the hope of so many in this region for future of safety and dignity of the Palestinian people, but that cannot happen as long as Gaza's leaders take delight in raping, torturing, and murdering innocent people.
Now, someone tell me if that goes away. Does that go away? What did you just say right there? They enjoyed raping, killing, murdering people, right? If this is how you describe them, how would they be allowed to survive and stay there? You tell me. You got something, Dubster? How would they be allowed to stay? They're a bunch of rapists, murderers, killers of children, beheaders of babies. How would they be allowed to stay there? You tell me.
Well, no, I just, like I said earlier, the key word there is delight. So if they're not happy why they rape someone, is it okay?
I mean, I think that's a technicality we'll have to figure out because something tells me the narrative that these guys are pushing, there's no way that he would be allowed to let them stay there and survive. Which means he has to be with the Israeli plan of like, yo, wipe them out. Gotta wipe them out. And
Isn't,
guess what? We can't tell
isn't
one
that,
from the other either. We don't know who's who, Dubster. We don't know who's who.
isn't
Like,
that
what could be
what,
Hamas? Who knows?
isn't that what we question about the Jewish people? The people that question about the Jewish is they're rapists, they're murderers.
There's been plenty of accounts of IDF soldiers doing some wild shit. I'll say that. I'm just like, it is what it is.
No.
But guess what? The narrative's shifted one direction. Let's be real.
No, what I'm saying is, people believe that like the Jews are devil worshippers,
Well, they're idiots.
and that's equivocally what
Yeah, but they're
we're
idiots.
calling the.
I can't do dumb shit today, Dubster. Skip past that. Give me something else.
Dude, listen to me. Are we not basically saying the Muslims are devil worshippers?
They're being nice and putting about. They're saying Hamas, right? And they're essentially saying anyone in Gaza that's like, yo, fuck you, Israel, for doing it. They're also Hamas, which means all of Gaza is Hamas, essentially.
So in the big picture, we say Muslims are the devil worshippers. That's the American point of view.
No, I don't even think they think of it. They don't even go to that depth. That sounds way too deep of a statement, Dubster. I think they just go, it was Muslim bad. That level. I think that's the depth of their thinking.
No,
Muslim bad.
Their method of dehumanization is saying they're rapists, murderers, and what else?
But it's being narrowed down now. It's like they are focusing on Hamas in particular, right? He's saying Saudi Arabia, they're amazing. You know, I got 5 blowjobs last night. That was amazing. The best Viagra in the world. Trust me, the best.
What I'm saying, for 200 years, the position is they're devil worship. That's what Islam is devil worship. Isn't that the point of view of the Muslims to the Jews?
Yeah, but I don't think it's...
The Jews are the devil worshippers?
I think for the most part it's political. It's, these towel heads will fucking strap a bomb to themselves and blow everyone up. Like, that was the narrative. The narrative is...
What I'm saying is, don't the Islam's talking points about Jews is they're rapists or murderers.
I'm sure there's a lot of people like that for sure. I think a lot of them, but I think a lot of them look at it as politically, like, oh, this country does horrible shit. Because guess what? There's Jews that live there, and there's Palestinian Jews that live in Gaza that are eating shit right now, and they know that. There's Palestinians that know that they're with them.
Okay, so what I'm saying
is
Christians. Trump in his rhetoric has picked a side, and it's the same side he's picked the whole time.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. He's supporting the Israeli narrative. They raped, they killed, they behead babies, whatever. They support the New York Yankees, the evil empire. They support all that. Right? This is supposed to be, for me, showcasing that. Like, he's not some, Palestinian state. We'll have one day as long as Hamas stops murdering, raping, killing. It's like, well, you can't just even allow that. I know you're doing that with Jolani, but no one knows about that shit, right? The Syrian leader, he knows the populace knows nothing about that.
In general, yeah. They don't know that he was in our prison, and then he got let out by Obama, and then Netanyahu got to basically handle this guy. America funded him through Israel and through Turkey to make sure and bomb the shit out of everybody in his way so he could get there and Assad would run.
Yeah.
Run away. That's what I mean. Assad run away.
And that's through Obama to Trump to Biden. And then at the very end of Biden's, Syria fell, right? Assad left office. But they were all continuing the funding of all these guys.
Was it Biden or the beginning of Trump?
It was after the election, right?
But before Trump was inaugurated?
Yes, exactly. So it's still technically Biden's administration.
Okay. But Trump's picking up the phone at that time and making moves,
I mean, if he
which
did
he's
it,
not supposed to be allowed to do, but he did, and that was breaking of the, the
what, the ceasefire,
what is it?
Israel,
No, what's it called when you have a standard, a quo?
status quo.
Status quo. Yeah, it was a status quo. He broke status quo by making moves before he was inaugurated. Apparently, no president's ever done that. They're saying he did.
I mean, I'm still lost about what happened in Syria because clearly Trump is not showcasing and being in good terms with Russia right now, which somehow Russia stood down. He's not showing to be in good standing with Iran. Iran stood down. And fucking Assad said, like, we're done. I'm done. I'm leaving. I'm trying to escape before I get Gaddafi'd. I'm escaping. Something happened where I don't know what it was, but something fucking happened. I still have not heard that truly explained to me. But something happened. Anyways, point is, this rhetoric here should be scary. Well, Trump supporters should be. I don't feel like being nice right now. Like, hey, you guys should think about this. Like, I don't feel like being nice. Like, you fucking idiots. This guy does not give a fuck about you. If he says, like, oh, look, Trump is turning on like right to Alex Jones said Trump is turning on Netanyahu, but yet he still spills out these narratives that fully supports that war. Sorry, my bad. Genocide. Fully supports it. Like, man, and he'll probably say things in the way his administration has behaved. Who knows who's Hamas or not? Who knows? It could be any one of them. But they need some aid. How are they going to get that? We'll have Israel deal with it. What? Yeah, Israel will deal with the aid. But they're the ones stopping the aid from coming in the first. Like, there's already UN trucks lined up to drop aid off. That sounded bad. Aid off? That sounded bad. Sorry. Anyways.
How does he know they're still raping? Like, because they're all outside and he can see it happening now? Because they're all in Rafah?
No.
Out in the open field?
All those narratives, as far as we understand, is based on October 7th. Straight up.
No, it's not a narrative. It's really happening right now. They're raping and murdering their own.
I mean, I'm wrecked. They still have hostages, bro. They could be raping them. They have hostages.
21 people are getting raped right now.
Possibly. For all I know. I mean, let's be real. Let's be very candid, Dubster. If Trump really turned on Netanyahu and said, "Okay, I'm done with all this Israel bullshit," what would be done right now? What he would be saying right now? We know, right? Everyone's aware of what that would be if you looked into the fucking topic. We all know what that would look like. It wouldn't be some secret shit on this, like, I'm getting my sources are telling me that Trump stepped on Netanyahu's Jordans, his brand new Jordans, Jordan 11s. He stepped on them, scuffed them up, and said, "I don't care."
Well, I don't know what he would do, but I know what I would do if I was in that position. I'd just make a public announcement like, look, I've been lied to, and it is my responsibility now to let the people of America know what has been going on. And I'm not saying sorry, because I'm trying to kind of put it in the Trump perspective. But from now on, we're going to be doing this, which has an opposite effect regarding Israel.
This would be the easiest
I'm leaving
steps
it
in my life.
Yeah.
It'd be so easy to do for me.
And he doesn't have to say sorry. He doesn't have to apologize because it's Trump and he won't do that. He can just say we're going.
Don't give me that shit either. I don't buy that shit either. That's another fucking phantasmagoria shit, or mystical shit. He's a painted on tan motherfucker, bro, with hair plugs. Stop it. He's not that guy. Everyone stop. He's not that guy. Stop it. Jelani's
you
such
talking
a
about?
big,
He
strong
doesn't say sorry.
man. He's such a handsome, big, tall, strong man. Said that shit about Jelani, bro. Stop it. He's not that guy. This fool's never laid a brick in his life, bro. Pause. Not ever. This fool doesn't know how to use a fucking power drill, I guarantee you. Get the fuck out. He's not that guy. Stop it. Anyways, it'd be pretty simple what I would do. But once again, I'm going based on the dumbness of the world we live in. Like, okay. I think that people would do simple things if they wanted to showcase that, like, yo, I'm not working with this guy. This guy is full. I found out he's full of shit. I'm not working with him anymore. There'd be very blatant things you would do. He tried to do it with, he pump faked that doing it with Ukraine, right? To get these guys to come to the table for a deal. Granted, I don't agree with that type of shit, but at least, like, on the surface, that would be something. Have we seen that yet?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Not an inch.
Yeah.
It's just everybody else saying he's like that now.
Exactly.
But it's not been demonstrated by him.
Like, yo, you got
not been demonstrated by Netanyahu.
That shit that Trump said to Zelensky, where it's like, listen, man, you got no chips to play. You got no chips to play. You should be thankful to us. He could literally say that to Israel. Literally. And not that they don't have chips to play. I'm just saying, like, if the U.S. is like, well, Israel is no longer under the protection of the United States because they want to play ball. They don't want to play ball. Now Iran could be like, what's up? Iran could step up to the plate, but yo, what's up, bitch?
Yeah.
That would mean chips are gone.
They have what they have.
And
they're on their own from here on out.
Exactly. And then you just say, well, good luck with Iran. Just like he would say to Ukraine, good luck with Russia. Right? Where it's like, you're fucked.
But he did say that.
No, he didn't say that with Israel.
To Ukraine.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying. He would say that to Israel if he handled it the same exact way. Like, oh, good luck with Iran. Good luck. It's like, they know what the fuck's... Like, come on. So, once again, these statements are just reinforcing what I already thought about Trump in regards to Israel. Like, this is some bullshit that fans are making up. And then there's also... what else? Netanyahu saying, well, I'm so happy that Eden Alexander has made it home. And I talked with Trump on the phone last night, and we were chopping it up, and, you know, it's all good between us. It's all good. We're figuring out ways, like a strategic way to take down Hamas and get back the hostages.
We're moving forward.
Exactly.
Getting Gaza obliterated.
Exactly.
Yeah, I saw that video.
Exactly. So that plus, like, here's the thing that these fanboys of this guy that are like, oh my God, finally, or not finally, but oh my God, see, we told you, he's the peace president. It's like, in regards to Gaza, right? Like, oh look, he's going to recognize a Palestinian state. Like, by the way, every day that goes by, there's shit tons of Palestinians dying. They're still being bombed. They're still being shot. It didn't just stop all of a sudden. That's one of the things that people aren't realizing. Like, that's actually that's going down as we're speaking. There's people being fucking bombed and starved as we're speaking. And this guy, like, we'll get to it, don't we? Like, is not sorry. It's like, sorry, guys. Like, at least mention it for news sake. Hey, listen, we're trying to work on a deal to free the Palestinians and give them their own state, but Israel is continuing to bomb them. They're still bombing them, guys. They are still bombing them. So we're going to work hard to stop the bombing, and then we can work out a deal. But no one's going to make a deal when they're under duress like that. He could say that anytime he wants to, but what does he say instead? Hamas needs to stop their murdering, raping ways. Exactly. Stop their murdering and raping ways.
They're swinging bats at those bombs that are dropping because they think if they swing that bat, it might go back into Israel's territory. So they're the bad guys. What?
Ironically enough, metaphorically, that's actually kind of like not fully true, but a little bit true. As in, they take bombs that don't go off that land, they like refurbish them, and then try to send them back towards Israel. which is just like desperation type of effort, right? It's like, oh, this bomb was like
They're
kind
the
of a dud.
murderers. They're the murderers.
Yeah.
How dare they attack Israel?
Exactly. So, yeah,
It's the
Trump.
same idea as when, what was it, in the Gulf War when they were throwing rocks at tanks? Or was
Yeah.
that Palestine? I forgot where that image came from. Them
That
throwing
has
rocks at tanks, and
that has happened in the West Bank. That has happened in Gaza, 100%. Rocks,
yeah,
tires. I've seen. You have peaceful people not throwing anything or shooting any weapon. No, nothing. Getting shot at and
just get
killed. Yeah, doctors, nurses, people in wheelchairs being shot and killed. Children. Actually, I saw a story. Hold on, real quick. I saw a story today of, remember the story we went over with the ambulance drivers that they got fucking shot and killed.
Yeah.
Right. One of the 4 witnesses, a 12-year-old kid, has been shot and killed. One of the witnesses, and I think he was on his way to do a second testimony of it. Shot and killed, dead. 12-year-old kid. Interesting, huh?
One of P. Diddy's witnesses went missing. Everybody thinks that makes it look fishy, but not this.
Yeah. I mean, he might have been safer being a Diddy witness. He probably should have traded lives out, man. But yo, God, I should have been born someone else, so I'll snitch on Diddy over them. They'll just shoot me and kill me. I mean, Diddy might. I don't know what Diddy would do. Maybe he would. I don't know. Maybe he's got goons out there.
That's recent news. That's why I was thinking that.
Yeah. It's just there's story after story after story. I just saw a glimpse of it earlier of anti-war. I think it was like 60-something people dead overnight. Like, these are happening continuously, night after night in Gaza. Like 64 seems like a low number. I'm usually seeing like 103, 102, 80 something, 90 something, like continuously over 24-hour periods. Just that many people dying every day. And it's like people say, "Oh, well, let's say they take the low number, right? And they're like, "Oh, only 60,000 people. That's not like in a country of 2 million something people." And it's a lot, but is it that crazy? Like, well, you have to think this is less than 2 years. Less than 2 years of military action there. Less than 2 years. And that many civilians are dead. And once again, we're not even counting the people buried under rubble or people gone missing and yada, 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 right? This guy right here on screen, he could not just ask for, I think he could orchestrate, like, we're doing a full-scale investigation of the entire area. We are doing a ceasefire. If Israel shoots a fucking bullet our way, that I will consider that an act of war. And they don't want that smoke. They don't want that.
Remember, we are the top vote in the UN.
Yeah.
Even though we don't like the UN right now, we're still the number 1 vote in the UN.
Yeah. And also, like, the thing that Aaron Mate brought up of like, what would be the borders? Let's say Trump, all these headlines saying Trump calls for a Palestinian state. Like, what are the borders? Is it going to be like a little fucking Indian reservation? See, look, you guys won. See, look.
I was just through Arizona. Navajo Nation is bigger than Palestine.
Well, goddamn.
By multiples. I mean, it's barren land, but still the idea is it's probably 200 square miles. This is probably 5 square miles. Palestine.
Well, you mean the Gaza Strip? You mean?
Yeah.
I don't know how large it is, but either way, the people are being pushed further and further into southern Gaza, right? So their territories being even cut off even more.
Right. Yeah. But I'm just trying to give you a reference point. The Navajo Nation is a huge part of the desert out there. I mean, it runs along Interstate 40 for 50 miles. So that's,
Okay.
and then you go north of the interstate by so much, that's square miles. So I'm guessing 200 square miles is probably a low guess. But they got a lot more land than Gaza.
I wondered if they'd let me in. You know what I'm saying? We'll just walk
Everybody
over
can
there.
go. Everybody can go.
But yo, I'm part Native
Get along
American.
with them.
No, I
They
want
you to buy
in.
shit.
I want in, bro. I want in.
Oh, you want to get your casino money?
Yeah, and some sexy Native American wife.
Oh.
I'll call her Liz for fun. But, yo, Liz Warren, just to piss her off. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's continue on. I already read what he's about to say, but I'll just play from the beginning. Let it play all the way through.
Can't have dignity. My administration shares the hope of so many in this region for future of safety and dignity of the Palestinian people, but that cannot happen as long as Gaza's leaders take delight in raping, torturing, and murdering innocent people. Can't have it. I greatly appreciate the constructive role that the leaders in this room have played in trying to bring the terrible conflict to an end, including by helping secure the release of American hostage Edan Alexander. It was a big day yesterday, a very important day. I was told just before I left that they were going to be releasing Edan. We thought Edan was dead. 3 weeks ago, they said Edan was no longer living. And it was a very, very good thing. Ultimately, all hostages of all nationalities must be released as a stepping stone to peace, and I think it's going to be happening. A lot of things are happening. A lot of very positive things are happening on every front.
Like how he's telling that Saudi Arabians like they give a fuck about this fucking Jewish hostage.
I mean, man, oh man, oh man. He's just gonna get like, man, Trump is awesome, yo. He's gonna get away with shit like this. Let's move on. Okay, from Drop Site News. I'm gonna play the video too, but I'll just read it for now. News: Russia, China, and the UK rejected the U.S.-Israeli plan for aid distribution in Gaza, calling instead for Israel to lift its 70-day siege. UN humanitarian chief Tom Fletcher also condemned Israel's Gaza aid plan, calling it a cynical sideshow and a fig leaf for further violence and displacement, warning it forces mass displacement and restricts aid to only part of Gaza, turning starvation into a bargaining chip. He's like, yeah. So it's carrot and stick, essentially. If I believe that's what they're saying, right? Of like, yo, if you want aid, keep coming this way. Keep coming. Come on, get a little bit more. All right, you're in Egypt. Sorry. Bye. Just close the door behind them. Like, all right. At least you got some food now. Fletcher accused Israel of deliberately and unashamedly imposing inhumane conditions on civilians and urged the UN Security Council to act decisively to prevent genocide and to ensure respect for international humanitarian law. To quote him, or may I just play the video? Did I do that? Yeah, I should play the video. Alright, let me read it. It's fucking 12 minutes long. I might play it anyways, fuck it. We have life-saving supplies ready now at the borders. As is understood, he said, we can save hundreds of thousands of survivors. We have rigorous mechanisms to ensure our aid gets to civilians and not to Hamas. But Israel denies us access, placing the objective of depopulating Gaza before the lives of civilians. So once again, yeah, I think they're trying to lead them out of Gaza, right? Which means you're expelling them, but like, hey, food or starve. Stay here and starve or get some food. And also we'll be bombing and shooting while we're doing all that. So it's like, I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe. I mean, I can believe it. I just can't believe that levels of things.
And then once a month, Netanyahu will remind you Egypt won't open their gates.
Yep, it's their fault. And Trump won't mention any of this shit happening, will he? Like, man, like, what was I saying before? Where I was like, yo, is it possible that Trump is kind of trying to, lube up before he enters the Middle East? Like, yeah, we're gonna work hard. We're gonna get them some humanitarian aid, and we're gonna, maybe there's a Palestinian state somewhere else. Maybe that happens. Right? He's like kind of massaging the idea of these things happening, and people start calling. Look, I told y'all. He's the peace president. I told you. Look at this shit. Who else has done this? Nobel Peace. What did Jimmy Dore? I think Jimmy Dore mentioned Nobel fucking Peace Prize. Yeah. Maybe not. Don't quote me on that one. Yeah, I'm wrecked. I am wrecked. Once again, if someone was truly willing to do something, me and Dubster went over what that might actually look like. But this is not looking like that. My bad, God.
Another thing Alex Jones said on yesterday's thing was, well, at least he's the only president that's ever tried to get peace in the Middle East. I mean, he's not going to be perfect, but he's at least trying.
That is the saddest thing I've ever heard in my life. It's like that one thing with that Nick Fuentes segment where Nick Fuentes read a headline or said a headline to Alex Jones. It turned out to be bullshit, like not the actual meaning of the headline. He's like, yeah, Trump said, he.
Well, Nick did say,
I'm not owned by anyone.
Nick did say, well, there is two ways to take this, but then Alex Jones like, oh, we got to go to commercial.
Well, he said that after the fucking headline popped up and they actually saw it. I'm saying beforehand. Nick Fuentes was saying that, but it's not about him. Let's say Alex Jones. This has been happening to Alex Jones for a while now, where he's thinking, oh my God, finally, something to be excited about, I could brag about to my fans, and then, it's not actually what I thought it was, actually was. So thus I have to, find some way around it, or take it back in some way, or make an excuse for it, or just never mention it again. Right? Him saying, look at Mark Levin, Israel has helped Al-Qaeda in Syria, and now Al-Qaeda is the government in Syria. Hours later, or the next day, or Alex Jones has not found out about it yet. Trump was like, look at this big, strong man, Jolani, in Syria. We're going to take sanctions away now. We're done doing sanctions on Syria. As soon as Al-Qaeda gets here, we want them here. What does Alex Jones do that? He has to, constantly have some sort of bright-eyed hopium thing and then take it back.
You don't know what he's going to do? Look at how great Trump is. He is stabilizing Syria.
He's made them promise never to do Al-Qaeda stuff again. But you just said Israel is bad for doing that.
Biden regime changed them. Now we're accepting the regime change, and we're working with it to stabilize the nation.
Oh, fuck. Hold on. He concluded with a stark warning. For those who will not survive what we fear is coming, in plain sight, I thank that guy for saying it that way. It will be no consolation to know that future generations will hold us in this chamber to account. I've been screaming this. I'm like, yo, the wildest shit in the world is happening in our lifetimes. And there is no excuses about it. There's no way around it. There is no, oh, well, guys, he was the president. How would he know? You can't do that, right? You can't do that.
He would know more than anybody.
He's supposed to, at the very least. You would think. I would hope so. But
he's got the secret books in the Library of Congress.
Okay, now you're going fucking national treasure level.
He's got the president's secret book.
Whatever. The point is, he should know about this. If he doesn't, I don't want to hear no excuse. His advisors lied to him. That's what happened. All right, which means, so we could just throw that out the fucking window. He fucking knows what's going on over there. Thus, what's his course of action against it? So no, he has to secretly do it, secretly help them in a certain way, and 64 people died last night. Yeah, but you got to be patient while he's doing the secret plan that might work out someday, maybe. It's like, man, we really need to get aid over there. See, look, he said it. He said they really need to get aid over there. What does that have to do with actually getting aid over there?
How long does it take
Fuck.
to load a plane? How long does it take to load a plane with food and fly?
It's the aid's already there, Dubster. That's the point. The aid is there. It's not being allowed through. The aid is right next door to them, and it's not allowed through. That's part of the point. That are freaking people like, and he has to know that, right? Trump is like, we have to find some magical miracle of a way to get aid in there. It's like, it's right there.
Couldn't
It's
he
right
airdrop
there.
Peanut butter sandwiches, like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. That would be at least something.
I'm wrecked.
You get how simple this sounds?
Yeah. Well, obviously, there's blatant, obvious. Like, there's no excuse. I agree, Dubster. He can have fucking, what's it called? Fucking parachutes of food falling in there or whatever the fuck if he wanted to, right?
Right.
But at the same time, there's no political excuse either, right? Politically, he could be easily pressuring Israel. Easily pressure them. Easily.
What I'm saying is, Netanyahu's not letting food cross a certain line. If Trump's not really with him on this, he could fly some C-130s or whatever our transport military thing is with crates of food and just airdrop it over them.
He could, but also at the same time, he could be like, why the fuck are you blocking food? Huh? Why are you blocking food, huh? Like, you don't want what I'll do if you fuck it. Like, stop blocking the food. Let the fucking food through. Like, now. He could do that. Could he not? Could he not? Let's be honest. Could he not do that?
No.
He couldn't. Stop it. Of course he could. Of course he fucking could. He could even do it nicely.
That's not.
Listen, BB,
That's
just
not
let the
5D
aid through,
chess.
man. Let
That's
the
not-
aid through.
That's just mean. That's not 5D chess.
Oh, God.
You can't be mean to Netanyahu. You got a 5D chess.
You gotta trick him. Even though you have, like, you have the high ground by a lot in this scenario. You're just like, I don't want to use it, though. I want to be a trickster and trick him into something. Like, fuck. Anyways, here we go. It will be no consolation to know that future generation will hold us in this chamber to account, but they will. And if we have not seriously done all we could, we should fear that judgment. Well, let's be real. Nice guys. I understand what he's saying. I get that. But you nice guys in suits will be fine. Just like if I don't get health care, these guys will be fine anyways. All right? They don't have when I look at these people, no offense to them. I don't know how much I'm watching of this, by the way, but I don't know these people exactly, but I don't smell my tenacity amongst these fools. I don't smell that. I just don't. Like, damn, what would Jordan do if I was in one of these guys' positions? Maybe they are doing it, and there's just nothing you can do, for all I know. But as far as I've seen, I have not smelt my own version of tenacity amongst these guys. Which is why I look down on, not at them. I don't know any of these guys. I'm saying, like, someone like Trump, right, where I have more of understanding of his policy and what he's done as president and all that shit, where I'm like, yo, if I was there, there's no way that's happening. So thus, I question his tenacity towards trying to do the right thing. In fact, I question his motives to try to do the right thing, too. I question a lot of things about that guy. But with these guys, like, yeah, I get it. I'm sure people looking down at you in the future won't feel so good if anyone remembers your names or anything like that. But, if I was in your shoes, I don't think you're going to feel the way I would feel if I was here and I let that shit happen. I literally, desperately would not allow that to happen. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I got to do. Anyways, let's hear him out.
Do you see how that's set up, though? Before you press play, there's the
What?
person that's actually at the table. That's the person of power. And then there's 4 seats behind them of their lawyers, their staff.
Yeah. It's a circle. It's the G spot. Nah. All right, here we go.
Mr. President, members of the Council, briefing you again on this subject is a grim undertaking.
Correct.
Before starting, I ask you to reflect for a moment on what action we will tell future generations we each took to stop the 21st century atrocity to which we bear daily witness in Gaza.
See, me, I'd be like, listen, cunts. Like, I had to, like, shit on their lives. Like, yo, you fucking little dweebos. Fuck. Sell everything you have. And then let's go out there ourselves. Let's fund our own trip over there. And you know what? If Gaza dies, we die too. Let's sell our belongings. We don't need these fucking suits, bro. We don't need that. Let's show up there. 1-1 and then dare Israel to just bomb us too. Let's just go there. Anyways.
It is a question we will hear, sometimes incredulous, sometimes furious.
He talks very pretty, man.
but
Very pretty
always
talker.
there for the rest of our lives. We will surely all claim to have been against it. Maybe we will say we issued a statement, or that we trusted that private pressure might work despite so much evidence to the contrary. Or pretend that we thought a more brutal military offensive had more chance of bringing the hostages home than the negotiations which brought so many hostages home. Maybe some will recall that in a transactional...
By the way, that random motherfuckers on the internet have been saying for a long time. Like, that's the weird thing about it. There's people on the internet that are just saying these things that have no access like the UN does, no access like America does, or whatever, right? I'm not trying to shit on these guys for calling these things into attention, right? You know, you do what you can with what you understand or where you're at in life. I get that. But at the same time, it's like, guys with no real resources like that, other than the fucking internet and maybe good friends. Like, these fools have been all over these stories. All over it. And it's like, holy shit. That is fucking crazy. Just like when it's like the 4chan guys finding ISIS fighters because of the way flags are waving. You know, in the background. Like, look, see the angle of the sun and the fucking wave, the wave of the flag and the wind speed and yada yada yada, right? Look at the terrain. This guy's here. And it's just like, wait a minute. Some fuckface on 4chan figured out, like, stop it. Stop it. I'm wrecked. This is stuff that bothers me.
Shia LaBeouf, not a ISIS person.
No, they did it with ISIS too. I know what you're talking about, but they did it with ISIS too.
Oh, okay. Oh, I never heard that.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
the flag thing was particularly Shia LaBeouf, right? Because he'd put these flags up all over the place, right? But ISIS, they actually did that with ISIS too, but not with the flag. I think it was like, there was something maybe blowing like wind direction, but the sun, the time of day, right? The sun, the weather that's outside.
The shadow.
Yes, the shadows and the terrain and all that stuff. And the weather patterns, like they actually found these fools. Anyways. Let's continue. I'm not trying to shit on the guy. I'm just... Here we go.
We had other priorities.
I'm just not in a good mood, okay? Forgive me.
Or maybe we will use those empty words. We did all we could. Mr. President, let me start with what we see and are mandated by this council to report. Israel is deliberately and unashamedly imposing inhumane conditions on civilians in the occupied Palestinian territory.
Would he be allowed to call it a genocide? Now, the thing is, he doesn't have to call it a genocide. I'm not one of those guys
He
that...
did.
Did he say that? I didn't hear him say that.
In that description, that is genocide.
No.
But
Because
he
this is
didn't use
actually...
the word genocide.
This is a particular thing. Because if he was like... If someone stopped him and was like, okay, so you mean a genocide? He's like, well, like if he like muttered his words like Bernie Sanders does, right? Or if he's like, yeah, whatever, it's the same thing, dude, whatever. right? Then I'd be like, okay, you're. It's not that it's so important of the word use. It's more about like, will you play politics in the middle of your speech about how much we didn't do enough? Are you going to play politics in that moment? Like, listen, we don't want to piss Israel off, so we can't use the word genocide. If we say genocide, we're saying this is a criminal action, right? It's calling it a criminal action, and thus it delegitimizes the Israeli government in action. Right?
He's basically Jimmy Dore up there.
What? I don't know about Jimmy Dore.
I don't know. He's just saying all the right things. I mean, the idea of just saying all the right things, I mean, that doesn't really mean something all the time.
Well, I don't know this guy. I don't know his intentions, but I hear that same phrases I just heard from Bernie Sanders talking to the Senate or whatever, saying like, "Oh, look what's going on in Israel. We need to like defund them, not give them money." Now, but there's also a reason why he particularly does not use the word genocide. I think.
Yeah, the reason is his 5 lawyers.
Possibly. It could be like because of the criminality of it, right?
It's an indictment. If he says it's genocide, it means you have to arrest somebody.
Especially when your words are official, right? He's speaking to the UN right now.
Yeah.
That would make it officially like you are designating that a fucking crime, what's happening. Instead of just like a humanitarian disaster, a humanitarian blunder, whatever the fucking words that someone else might put on.
100% crime.
Yeah.
It's like it's terrorism plus you just keep doing it every day, and night.
Which is that's what's been happening. So, but once again, the reason why I stopped it there is it's not that I don't know this guy. Is not here to really call him out. It's just to say like I'm curious. Would you stop short of saying certain? Because whatever's happening over it is fucking criminal. There's no way around that one, right? Now I use the word genocide because I think they're blatantly trying to eliminate a type of people from that area by exile or by death. So I just call it what word I think fits there. Now these guys might not do that because they're worried that like, damn, Israel might get in, criminal legal trouble if I say these words, and that's what I get worried about that. I was like, but you would do this in a whole bunch of other places. Like I think these guys have done that as far as the UN's concerned. I think they have designated criminal actions by X, Y, or Z before. All right. Hitler, didn't they do that with Saddam Hussein? Didn't fucking Colin Powell go in front of the UN and say, look at this stuff? Or was that the UN? Not Colin Powell. Who was it? Someone went in front of the UN, right?
Colin Powell did go in front of the United States Congress. Netanyahu went in front of the United States Congress.
Someone went in front of the UN and said, "Yo."
Regarding the Kurds, either way, it's been like documented. I think it was a documented official formal thing about the Kurds.
The Kurds? In Syria?
Yeah, that's who Saddam Hussein, like, quote unquote, genocided.
Oh, okay.
Which I think he did kill a lot of them. Yeah.
Okay. But I was thinking weapons mass destruction. That's when Colin Powell did his.
Yeah, they didn't care about any type of genocide from so they just used weapons of mass destruction and the poison thing, right?
No, I think that was part of the rhetoric.
But the selling point was these weapons are gonna get in the hands of terrorists. They just did 9/11 and see, look, go get them.
Which was the easy sell when people were scared about 9/11, of course.
Yeah. But, all right. Just wanted to lay it out there. Okay, here we go. There's more of this guy.
For more than 10 weeks, nothing has entered Gaza. No food, medicine, water, or tents. Hundreds of thousands of Palestinians have again been forcibly displaced and confined into ever-shrinking spaces. As 70% of Gaza's territory is either within Israeli militarized zones or under displacement orders. As my colleague from the FAO will explain, every single one of the 2.1 million Palestinians in the Gaza Strip face the risk of famine. 1 in 5 face starvation.
They are in famine.
Despite
Yes,
the fact
exactly.
that you have funded the food that could save them. The few hospitals that have somehow survived bombardment are overwhelmed. The medics who have somehow survived drone and sniper attacks cannot keep up with the trauma and the spread of disease. Even today, the European Gaza hospital in Khan Yunis was bombed again with even more.
Why don't you just fucking go in there? Like, we don't care about you, Israel. We're walking in here. Sorry.
I can tell you from having visited what's left of Gaza's medical system that death on this scale has a sound and a smell that does not leave you.
He did go.
As one hospital worker
I'm
described
sure he did
it,
it. I'm saying, like,
children
as a
screamed
body.
as we peel burnt fabric from their skin. And yet we hear that we did all we could. Mr. President, our response as humanitarians is to make a single ask of the Council. Let us work. The UN and our partners are desperate to resume humanitarian aid at scale across Gaza in line with the fundamental principles of humanity, impartiality, independence, and neutrality.
From
You're
cunts.
We have a
terrorists.
plan.
You're terrorists.
We have shown we can deliver with tens of thousands of trucks reaching civilians during the ceasefire. We have life-saving supplies ready now at the borders. We can save hundreds of thousands of survivors. We have rigorous mechanisms to ensure our aid gets to civilians and not to Hamas. But Israel denies us access, placing the objective of depopulating Gaza.
That one's a hard one to get around. All right? Or it's like, well, we can make sure the aid gets to regular people and not Hamas. Now what?
Yeah.
Like, now what's your argument? Listen, man, we're just trying to just kill them. Shut up. We're just trying to kill them, man.
that was actually a hell of a point, because even though whether it's true or not, like, it's just as not true when they just basically say that any victim is Hamas, right? Like they're just saying words. And so he's like, yeah, we can make sure. He just countered those words directly. Like, that's perfect.
There you go.
But Israel denies us access, placing the objective of depopulating Gaza before the lives of civilians. It is bad enough.
This fool
that the
playing on his
blockade
phone.
Continues. How do you react when Israeli ministers boast of it? Or when attacks on humanitarian workers and violations of
I'm
the
such
UN's
an asshole.
privileges and immunity?
I'd walk up to the Israel guy and use his microphone. So it's right in front of you, fucker.
Continue,
You know.
along with restrictions on
It's a
international
disrespect,
and
yeah.
non-governmental
Fuck up,
organizations.
you pussy.
That would get you kicked out for lack of decorum.
Mr. President, this council has adopted
these
resolutions that
nuts.
demand all parties to the conflict comply with international
Who is
humanitarian
he
law
addressing?
and
Is he
protection of
addressing
civilians,
Israel or Trump?
including humanitarian
The UN.
personnel.
Just
Yeah.
UN in
A
general.
reminder
I'd
that
sadly
Israel
guess.
also has clear obligations under international humanitarian law. It must treat civilians humanely, with respect for their inherent human dignity. It must not forcibly transfer, deport, or displace the civilian population of an occupied territory. As the occupying
It must
power,
not.
it must agree to
Does that
aid
stop?
and facilitate.
It will.
So for anyone still pretending to be in any doubt, the Israeli-designed distribution modality is not the answer. It practically excludes many, including people with disabilities, women, children, the elderly, the wounded. It forces further displacement. It exposes thousands of people to harm. It sets an unacceptable precedent for aid delivery, not just in the OPT, but around the world. It restricts aid to only one part of Gaza, while leaving other dire needs unmet. It makes aid conditional on political and military aims. It makes starvation a bargaining chip.
Which is a war crime.
It is a cynical sideshow, a deliberate distraction, a fig leaf for further violence and displacement.
That's what I said. He's
If any of that
describing
still
genocide
matters,
and
have no part in it.
practical, but not saying it.
Mr. President, for the record, we have tried.
For the record,
The UN has met
this is a
12
crime
times,
against
and
humanity.
again
These
this
are
morning,
criminal
with
actions,
the Israeli authorities,
and
to
anyone in
discuss this
support of it
proposed
should get
protocol.
Nuremberg trialed.
We wanted
There it is.
to find a way to make it
I think
possible.
saying it's a bargaining chip is being too
We
generous.
repeatedly
Just,
explained
I don't
minimum
think they want
conditions
the
for our
bargain.
involvement on the basis of long
They,
settled
Yeah.
they just
fundamental
want to
principles.
get rid of everybody
Aid
there.
based on independent assessments of
Yeah.
who needs it. The globally tested and donor demanded basic requirement. And the ability to deliver aid to all those in need, wherever they are. The Secretary General set out the relevant international law in his submissions to the International Court of Justice. And your resolutions have strongly condemned starvation of civilians as a method of warfare and the unlawful denial of humanitarian access. Resolution 2417 demands the Council's full attention to widespread conflict-induced food insecurity. Mr. President, it's not just Gaza. Appalling violence is also increasing in the West Bank, where the situation is the worst in decades. The use of heavy weaponry, military methods of war, excessive force, forcible displacement, demolitions, and movement restrictions. Ongoing illegal settlement expansion. Entire communities destroyed, refugee camps depopulated. Settlements expanding, and settler violence continuing at alarming levels. Sometimes with the support of Israeli forces. Recently, settlers abducted a 13-year-old girl and her 3-year-old brother. They were found tied to a tree. Do we also say to them that we did all we could? Mr. President, there is, I fear, a broader context here. For the past 19 months, Palestinian journalists, civil society, and individuals have live-streamed their destruction to the world. Many have been targeted and killed for their testimony. And during this time, international aid workers have been the only international civilian presence in Gaza, watching and reporting the unfolding horror. We are your eyes and your ears. And be in no doubt that we feel the weight of that responsibility to you, to the communities we serve, and to the world. And so we have briefed this council in great detail on the extensive civilian harm that we witness daily. Death, injury, destruction, hunger, disease, torture, other cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment, repeated displacement on a large scale. We have described the deliberate obstruction of aid operations and the systematic dismantling of Palestinian life.
The Israel guy on
which
split
took
screen
place
here.
in Gaza.
I mean,
So you
put that fool on full screen. We don't need to see this guy's face when he's talking. Let him talk. Put him on full screen until he squirms and runs away. Seriously. Put him on full fucking screen. Like, yeah. What do you have to say about this, huh? Anything? Nothing?
have that information. And now
I know we can't
the
do that in this
ICJ
world because
is
people are too
considering whether
fucking
genocide
stupid.
is taking place in Gaza. It will weigh the testimony that
There's
we
the
have
guy
shared,
responsible. Get him.
but it will be
Fucking
too.
idiots. Dummies.
Recognizing the urgency, the ICJ has indicated
Get the
clear
fucking children out of
provisional
this
measures
topic.
that must be implemented
Now we get these
now.
children Disney. Disney, make some fucking better Star Wars movies. Make some better child shows. Let the dummies have their little entertainment. Like, let them go do that shit. Come on, man. Keep them out of fucking politics because they're fucking idiots. This guy right here is a fucking dumb fuck. This guy's stupid. He's stupid. Everything we just heard this other guy lay out, this dude is wholesale unaware of. But saying, like, while knowing, like, if I had to guess, while knowing he knows nothing, is going out here saying, yeah, go Trump. Of course, after they're all massacred or displaced already, then they'll be like, man, something bad happened over there. Can't wait, man. I haven't seen him talk about the topic. I'm just guessing here. I'm in shit talk mode. Forgive me. He went to go watch. He went to go watch Snow White live action by himself in a theater full of children. Just want to say that. Anyways, here we go.
Yet they have not. Previous reviews of the UN's conduct in cases of large-scale violations of international human rights and humanitarian law
would call it.
Reports on Myanmar 2019, Sri Lanka 2012, Srebrenica, Rwanda, both in 1999, pointed to our collective failure to speak to the scale of violations while they were committed.
Okay.
So for those killed and those whose voices are silenced, what more evidence do you need now? Will you act decisively to prevent genocide and to ensure respect for international humanitarian law? Or will you say instead that we did all we could? Mr. President, this degradation of international law is corrosive and infectious. It is undermining decades of progress on rules to protect civilians from inhumanity,
which doesn't,
violent and lawless among us, who act with impunity. Humanity, the law, and reason must prevail. This council must prevail. Demand this ends. Stop arming it. Insist on accountability.
I was like, who are you again? Who are you? Yeah, sorry. I know who that is. Sorry. There, let it continue.
To the Israeli authorities, stop killing and injuring civilians. Lift this brutal blockade. Let humanitarians save lives. To Hamas and other armed Palestinian groups, release all hostages immediately, unconditionally. Stop putting civilians at risk during military operations.
See, that's a weird one, because as of this point, God dang it, fuck it, yeah, all right, speech go. He ruins it at the end. Because here's why, in my opinion, it's ruined. As far as the information I understand, is that Hamas was willing to give up the hostages for what? For their civilians returned, right? For a lasting peace deal, and for a state of their own, so that when someone willy-nilly tries to massacre them, it'll be blatantly considered a fucking genocide. Instead of waiting and rhetoric without calling it that, because you don't want to hurt your friends in Israel. Like, you don't want to hurt their feelings, man. So thus, we can't say the word genocide. And also criminal actions, we don't want to do that either.
Well, also, people weren't allowed to leave, so it's like it does make the civilians getting in the crossfire thing so much worse.
But he said to Hamas, right? Just give up the hostages without any conditions. And it's like, well, what did they get out of doing that? In my mind, it means you get shot, you get bombed, yada yada yada. Like, that's their only leverage, of anything. They don't have the leverage of, we'll fuck you up if you guys do this. They don't have that leverage anymore. That's gone. So if they give up the hostages, what's Hamas, or let's forget about Hamas. What's Palestinians getting out of it in any scenario like that? Now, for me, personally, yes, I would outright say, like, yeah, go home, get out of here, yada, yada, yada. In fact, I might hand them over to the U.S. on purpose, like, just so Israel doesn't just kill these guys. Like, yeah, we're going to hand them to you guys, and you guys hand them to Israel. So they can't false flag us or whatever the fuck. But still, after that, yes, you're going to deal with some repercussions, because the main goal was to eliminate you motherfuckers, man. That seems like the main goal. All evidence points in that direction. Like I said, they're still killing people to this day, right now. They made a good faith, quote unquote, good faith thing with the U.S. by handing over an American citizen, right? Who is also Israeli and Jewish. They good faith gave that guy over. But like it's like, dude, they're gonna. Also, these guys probably want to live on their own, right? Like they're like, yo, like I don't want to just die. So, but me personally, I wouldn't. I wouldn't take hostages in the first place. But I'm just saying that's been the only. Ironically enough, it's been the only excuse to stop Israel from just full scale, like just bomb the entire fucking place, right? But it's also been their excuse to bomb the entire fucking place, like straight up. It's been their like, look, they got our hostages. We need to eliminate them. So thus, we'll just bomb willy-nilly. We'll bomb hospitals. We'll bomb schools. We'll bomb housing. We'll bomb it all because they have our hostages. At the same time, it's like, yo, you did October 7th, so even if you give our hostages back, we're going to bomb your schools, your hospitals, your living spaces. Like, this is where I'm mentally at in regards to this conflict. So, maybe Hamas is saying, like, this is our only leverage we have. Where, like, Israel can't just full scale, like, all right, let's drop a nuke in there. Because the hostages are there. And thus, if you look at it on the surface, Israelis have been complaining about its own government and military actions because, like, wait a minute, you're not working hard to get our hostages back. You're trying to just expel these guys or kill them. Not Hamas. I mean, everyone non-Israeli living in that territory is trying to be like they're trying to expel them or just kill them. From what I've seen. So. Yeah. Anyways, okay. So this guy's statements in regards to like just give up the hostages, and it's like Western powers have shown no capability of maintaining any type of promises made through any action in regards to this. If like I said, they can't even call what Israel's doing a crime. He just said it's almost a genocide. It's almost there. It's like, what's the number? Is there a number count? Like, what do we do here? So he's not even deeming it like an actual crime yet. Not really. He's saying, like, oh, we're here to try to stop stuff like that. But he's not there saying, like, yo, this is a blatant crime happening. Blatant. The people that are perpetrating this should not be in any position of power. They're committing a crime. I haven't heard him say that. I've heard him say how bad it is over there to some degree, but not exactly like, yo, this is criminal. Like, fuck the international criminal courts. Like, this is wrong by humanity standards. Like, this is criminal by human standards, bro. This should not be happening in our lifetimes. But, you know. Yo, Hamas, give up your fucking hostages, man. Give that shit up. You know what? I agree with that. It's just, if they do that, they'll get ran over. Israel will not be held to account other than speeches at the UN, and then that's it. We move on. Maybe even one day Netanyahu gets in trouble, but wait a minute. You guys fuck countries up over less shit than this. Over way less. Maybe not the UN, but like the conglomerate of countries there. I'm sure they've all played roles in fucking up other countries that have done way less than this. But anyways, all right, here we go. Sorry, shit talking session.
And for those who will not survive what we fear is coming, in plain sight, it will be no consolation to know.
He's saying the genocide hasn't happened yet. We're getting there. We're on our way to the genocide. It hasn't happened yet. Like I said, as he's saying that, I'm sure there's people dying, starving out, dying from wounds that could have been treatable, but they don't have, enough medical aid or equipment to handle it. someone suffocating under a building, under rubble, someone's tent being lit on fire. Like, these are all happening as he's saying this, but we're waiting for it to be a genocide. And our children will be mad at us when we because we didn't do anything about it. Anyways, here we go.
And for those who will not survive what we fear is coming, in plain sight, it will be no consolation to know that future generations will hold us in this chamber to account. But they will. And if we have not seriously done all we could, then we should fear that judgment. Thank you.
I thank Mr. Fletcher for his briefing.
That's interesting, you know? Now, here's where I get a little weird, because it's like, I don't know, there could be people down the road from us that starve, that don't get enough, like, they're having their own little personal humanitarian aid situation. But, you know, that's only Tony down the street, or Bob. It's not enough people. If it starts growing, if the number starts growing, then we'll be like, okay, now this is serious. This is the real deal. It's like, I don't know. Why don't we try to just take care of everything? Everywhere. All at once. I'll say simultaneous. Everything everywhere, simultaneously. I want to get copyrighted for the movie title. So yeah, where we're at. To Cenk Uygur and Alex Jones telling us how Trump really, he hates Netanyahu and he's doing this for save the world. Oh, well, you know, if Trump does something good, let's give him credit. What if he's doing something really bad right now? A part of it. That's not the on the surface narrative, Jordan, so thus I don't have to mention it. I'm trying to lure in Trump fans to watch my content so that I can either get them to vote a certain way or get their money and their support. I don't give any fucks about Gaza. And then the speech, I care, but, you know, no one's going to do anything about it anyways. Yeah, I guess we'll have to
I
feel
know
bad.
that
Bad.
this video was they clipped it there, right? So there could have been more after, but
True.
I mean, it looked like he ended it, and he basically what we did here as a response is from what the label said, president. He said, basically, thanks for your comments, or he used a different word, but just for your statements. And I didn't just hear a statement. That would not have been satisfying. There was a statement, and there was actionable steps. He said, let us do our work to bring aid. Right.
Yeah.
So if they're still doing their thing, he's like, let us at least get our aid through. So that, to me, like, demands a response, an answer. Maybe it doesn't fit their rules, or how they go back and forth. I don't know, but that I didn't just hear a statement. I heard this is actionable things that we have to do now. But he's requesting basically permission to do that.
No.
And who?
He's not asking
No?
permission from the UN. He's asking permission from Israel,
Yes.
which almost means
yeah.
nothing in this context. That almost goes nowhere.
Well,
Is everyone going to stop and be like, yo, what's up, Israel? Huh? What can you do about this? Some guy who doesn't actually represent Israel? Like, what's, like, I'm just saying.
what are so why do they meet as countries? Like,
To talk about
like,
it, plan things, I guess. I don't know. It's the UN, and they're not allowed in this country. Or they're allowed, maybe individually allowed, but as far as, like, We want the UN, right? United Nations, and you have a country that's a part of United Nations, and they're like, hey, as a country that's in the United Nations, we want our food to reach the civilians. And the country's like, nah, we don't. It's like, all right, I guess we got to ask permission then. Let's hold a bigger council meeting. Let's ask permission again to the same country that already denied us. I guess what he's trying to do is like point it out. But then again, he won't even call it a crime. Has he called it like? Once again, like you're right. There could be something missing, like footage missing, where he's like, "Yo, this is a crime." But he said it's almost a genocide. We're almost there. Thus, it's not even a crime yet, really. It's just government fidangling instead of blatant Nuremberg trial
He was
war
trying
crime.
to be polite about like.
Oh, come on,
where
Jesse. I asked that question for a reason, bro. I asked that thing for a reason. Like, man, why can't these guys say genocide? Why can't Bernie Sanders say that? Or this guy say that? How come they can't say that? And I think it's because of lawful reasons. Like, yo, it's a genocide, and we're the UN, and we're doing nothing about it. That doesn't look right, right?
Well, what he just said doesn't look right to me. Like, criminal or not, like I think it's all. I think all of it is just. Um, it's like when Congress makes a law and okay, we have up to this date, and then they're like, oh no, you know what, we're not ready, so we're gonna give an extra like month or two to now we change date because we make the laws. They make their own laws when they have the when they decide what's illegal. They basically just looked at what the U.S. did in World War II, and then they're like, hey, this is this is now illegal. It wasn't illegal before, right? Like we were able to do all these things, so we just kind of make the rules up. I think the people I think they make their own rules. They make their own laws. I, like I don't really think it's on any way like a real law. I would say like it's not truthful because if certain people do it, it's terrorism. If other people do it, it's freedom or whatever. It's democracy. I don't see it as real.
Yeah.
I think it's just bullshit.
That's fine. Once again, I'm not trying to crap on the guy so hard. It's just if you set a like this is, it's obviously wrong by any standard, right?
Mhm.
And it's like if you point it out as such, to where like someone's like, oh, hold on, he's saying we did this, or let's say there's a counterpoint being made. Like, okay, fine, let's investigate then. Shut everything down, ceasefire, walk away, put your bombs away, put your bullets away, exit the fucking area, and we will go in, risking our own lives to investigate the entirety of the situation. Boom. Let us investigate all of it. Hey, fuck. If I call it a genocide and I'm wrong, fuck, maybe I'm wrong. But you know what? Let's go in there and head count everything. You can't just come in here. Like, you know what they're fucking burying evidence by blowing up houses and then steamrolling it to flatten it. There's bodies under there.
Mhm.
There's evidence under there. Meaning, like, yo, okay, fine, let's invest. Like, yo, as the world, right? The UN, as the world is concerned, let's stop everything right now. Let's fully investigate. Fully. But right now, what they're doing, like, the only thing they're fighting for is for the humanitarian aid, which, once again, they have no authority to do, apparently. The only authority they have is, will Israel let it in or not? It's up to them. And what they're doing is conditional, right? They're saying, like, hey, we'll release aid in this portion over here, which means people will start flooding this direction. And it's like, oops, you guys are in Egypt. Sorry. Just push them past the border. Like, you're Egypt's problem now. Or they make a deal and Egypt lets them in. There's your aid. It's right there in Egypt. There it is. Job done. Done and done. I mean,
Mm,
it is what it
Which
is.
makes it like, what's the point of them?
Yeah,
Right?
knows.
Like,
Exactly.
what is the point of the United Nations? Like,
And then you see this fucking gun, right? Right? Who's like, oh my god, he turned his back on fucking Netanyahu. Like, did he? Did he? Stop raping and murdering and torturing, right? Stop doing that, Hamas. Just give up your hostages, Hamas. Right? Which makes sense. I understand that from a humanitarian point of view. Like, give up your shit. Fucking idiots. Give up the fucking hostages. Israel, give up the fucking hostages too. Granted, it's not designated that by the UN yet, apparently, right? When they take, like, someone made an interesting point. This is not. I don't think this is the case for all fucking hostages or whatever of Hamas. But it's like the kid that got released, right, was a soldier. He wasn't some party goer, right? He was a fucking soldier, right? An IDF soldier guarding things, and he got captured. That's that's a hostage. I agree with that. But at the same time, it's different than a random civilian picked up because we think, man, is this guy Hamas? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Take him in. He gets held in imprisonment without any charge, without any trial, no lawyers to help you out. You're just locked up. Like, aren't those hostages too? But obviously, us as humans like to play with words and play with optics instead of like, yo, shut the whole fucking thing down. We're investigating everything and everyone. It's all being investigated right now.
What people also do is they do this thing, a mission. So I won't be vague here or mysterious. I mean, I think that even though people are gonna be liking and happy that like if we follow through with what he's saying and some of the things he's saying, like that's fine. But what he's not really getting into at all is so what are any of the details? What are the plans? What happens next? So people being liking the this whole thing is ending and stuff. That's one thing. But then another thing is how it goes afterward. People liking that or not.
After what? The Palestinians are expelled, or like what? What do you mean? Or
Oh yeah,
end
I
of the
mean
conflict?
all of what comes next really isn't really being specified. I wouldn't
Oh,
say. And I
yeah.
mean it's fine that we're thinking about something, what is urgent here. But yeah, I'm just saying it's a pretty long talk. Or maybe I guess I lost track of how long this
Well,
has been. So remember, yeah.
he said we're on the edge. We're almost in genocide territory,
He didn't say
right?
almost. He said we have to stop. We have to do something to stop it before or something like. Oh no, I forgot
Before it
exactly what he said.
happens, right? But that to
Yeah, he said
me,
like have to stop that. Yeah,
everything he described is basically saying like we're at the doorstep, but we're not we're not there yet. We need to do
to
everything we
prevent
can
or to stop that from happening. Yeah.
yes, exactly. Which is to say, like, I don't know what that means exactly, but I would be like, yo, let's stop everything. Let's investigate and find out if it is a genocide or not. Depending on definitions, who cares? Like, for me personally, call it whatever the fuck you want. Give me the evidence, give me the stats, give me what the fuck we're looking at, who has done what. Is there raping, pillaging, murdering? Where's it happening at? Who's doing it? All of
Yo,
that.
bro, one other thing about these conflicts is we kind of need everybody to be. I mean, you see that with Ukraine. You kind of need at least, if not equal footing, or that everybody kind of comes out with some kind of decent optics. There has to be some. I mean, yeah, it has to be something there. So, like if that's what Israel wants is, for people to be easy a little bit. Okay, fine, fuck it. I mean, I don't know. Part of the compromise, I guess. Because I think it is important, kind of these goals here.
Yeah. I'm wrecked.
Just being proactive and looking for that kind of mindset. But I mean, it's been an issue since it began. In its first couple months, it's like, how long is this going to go on?
Yeah. And it's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, fuck all the narratives. Fuck the tippy toeing. Fuck picking sides. let's act like what would be the most scientific thing? Like, investigate the fucking thing. Investigate all of it, and then start. Don't with no bias, investigate the entirety of the fucking thing, and like instead of waiting, like the guy was saying, instead of waiting till it's done with, and then be like, oh yeah, I guess this was a genocide the whole time, or oh damn, I guess yeah. Now that there's no more Palestinians in Gaza, now that they're all gone and displaced and ethnically cleansed or killed, now we can do the true death totals.
Refresh me on the Abrahamic Accords, because I heard that was a thing.
It's like a pact with Middle Eastern countries to not hate Israel. And they want to bring Al Qaeda guy Jolani, the leader, the new president of Syria, who can't shoot a jump shot for his life. They want to maybe bring him into that because these are devil worshippers, and this is what happens. But if you did something wrong, Ben or Jesse or me, we go to jail for long periods of time. These guys get to openly commit crimes and nothing happens. They might get boosted. They might become president one day. You never know. Anyways.
The way I heard somebody frame it, I don't know. Whatever. Actually, we might watch that, I guess.
The spaces one?
Yeah, but I'll just say they were saying they phrased it or framed it as like Turkey gets something, Israel gets something. I forgot who else they said, and then they were like actually, and then like the Al Qaeda has like what was it, Damascus or something like that. Like that's kind of their, and like so yeah. Well, I forgot now. Maybe Lebanon.
I'm thinking Israel gets Damascus. These new Syria guys probably get maybe they leave Damascus to Golani. Then northern Syria they give the Kurds, and other portions for the U.S. to just, let's be real, shake straw oil out of the ground. Turkey gets a little bit more of northern Syria, and the Kurds move below that. I don't know. I don't know enough, but either way, it's destabilized, it's partitioned now, and it is what it is.
Did you say they could get away with it, but regular people can't? Like,
what's up?
So like,
oh,
if
yeah,
you're a world leader, you could like murder more people than the biggest serial killer ever existed.
Yep.
And no problems.
Yeah, and you can do it guilt-free by not even looking at it. You can have somebody say, "Oh yeah, do that," but not even look at it directly, meaning someone else is going to do it, right? Someone else is going to drop the drone strike or shoot the bomb or shoot the bullet or whatever. So you get to sleep easy without those images in your mind at all. So you even
get the rest of the UN countries to all like. Obviously, they can't speak bad about it, right? Like, they'll all have your back. They like.
Yeah, you'll even have domestic backers who are dumb as shit that know nothing, and they proudly know nothing about anything. Like they're proud about that. And if you question them, they're like, "You got Trump derangement syndrome," or "You're blue-haired leftist, whatever the fuck." Meanwhile, they're 4'9", out of shape, can't do anything, inward knees, 5-inch verticals, nothing. They got nothing. Other than other idiots to join them and pay them money. That's all they get out of it. Anyways, all right, there's your video. Once again, I said it was me shit talking, bro. Forgive me. I wanted to do a longer form video for shit talking. Here it is. Don't forget to subscribe if you like. Comment, agree, disagree. Tell me what you think. Is Trump going to save the Middle East? Did he knowingly fuck it up? Then now knowingly claiming now there's peace because the fucking people up job is done with. So thus I can claim peace now. And maybe just a little bit upset with Israel for not wiping them out already. He's like, yo, if I was the prime minister, BB, I would have wiped them out a long time ago. We're trying to become the first U.S. administration to bring peace to the Middle East. Meaning, we did all the hard work. We destabilized all the countries. We got the leaders we want in there. And now we're going to claim it's all peace deals. Peace deals with our own propped up motherfuckers. Isn't that a good thing? Peace in the Middle East, yes. Yeah. Don't forget to share, support, hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Check them out, read them, share them, then donate. And with all that said, give this video a thumbs down.
Say you wanna get in, and then you wanna get out. When you get the money to buy yourself a car.